Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.
Question 1. What does an appraiser do? A. Establish market value. B. Establish estimated property taxes. C. Verify building codes are in conformance. D. Provide written documentation on the state of the property. Answer. A. The primary task of an appraiser is to establish an estimate of market value through the analysis of data. Question 2. What type of estate is an interest in real or personal property that is limited in duration to the lifetime of its owner or some other designated person or persons? A. An estate for years. B. A leasehold estate. C. A land estate. D. A life estate. Answer. D. The type of estate that is based on the lifetime of its owner or designated third party is called a life estate. Question 3. If a married couple purchases property as tenants by the entirety, neither can obtain a court order for A. Partition. B. Separation. C. Estimation. D. Accrual. Answer. A. Neither person can obtain a court order for partition when a married couple purchases property as tenants by the entirety. This is different than other forms of ownership by a married couple. Question 4. What is the best way to determine if a neighboring property is encroaching on another? A. Obtain a court order. B. Visually inspect the properties in question. C. Obtain a survey. D. Compare land maps of both properties. Answer. C. The best way to determine encroachment is to obtain a professional survey of the property lines. Question 5. Henry is the seller of his home, which was built in 1978. What booklet is Henry required to give a potential buyer? A. Environmental hazards disclosure. B. Lead paint information. C. Flood zone disclosure. D. Asbestos warnings guide. Answer. B. If Henry owns a home that was built in 1978 or earlier, he is required to give any prospective buyers or tenants a lead paint information booklet. Question 6. When a corporation holds title to land, under whose or what name holds the title? A. The Board of Directors. B. The shareholders. C. The corporation. D. The charter. Answer. D. Since a corporation is a fictitious person, the corporation holds property title in the name of its charter. Question 7. An African American family is looking to purchase a house. Their agent has been showing them properties for weeks, all of which are in predominantly African American neighborhoods. This would be an example of A. Blockbusting. B. Steering. C. Isolating. D. None of these. Answer. B. This type of behavior would be an example of steering and is in violation of the fair housing laws. An agent must show homes in any areas in which the client can afford. Question 8. One of the jobs of a property manager is A. Maintaining the property while managing finances. B. Settle disputes with neighbors. C. Personally evict tenants that have not paid rent. D. Operating a log of events on the property. Answer. A. One of the major jobs of a property manager is to maintain the property while managing the financial side of the operation for the property owner. Question 9. If Ivan owns property but has no heirs or will when he dies at age 86, who owns the property thereafter? A. The next blood relative. B. The federal government. C. The state government. D. None of these. Answer C. In a case in which a person dies owning property but has no heirs or will, property ownership reverts to the state. Question 10. In a case in which a person dies with no will and no heirs to their property, this is called A. Reversion. B. Escheat. C. Accretion. D. Reverse ownership. Answer B. The state becomes the owner of a property if the owner dies with no will and no heirs through the power of escheat.
Exam Scholar, Real Estate Edition.